Okay, we're on the new Horse Creek Road. We just came down it right there, across McCray Creek. McCray Creek turns and goes up the hill over there to the old McCray homestead and the old Buckman homestead. The old road, before my grandpa put this in the 40s, or maybe he put that in earlier, I don't remember. He didn't write that date down. But he put that road in because he couldn't get across Horse Creek, which is over there, when it floods. And he had to get up to this end to feed cattle and what have you. But the old road, it's pretty much the old road still in place there, going up to the McCray place. That's from the early 1900s. It came down through here, through this wire gate, and teed into the road you can see right over there, which goes down and crosses Horse Creek about where it joins McCray Creek. But what we're going to do today is we're going to go on up this road that George Carr put in. This road you can see right where the junction is here. He bought the Wiley Hines place back in the early 20s. And for whatever reason, he didn't want to come in through Lemon Cove or Lynn Cove. So he came down here and put this road in while my grandpa lived up on Little Oak Flat. He didn't come down here or have a need to come down here every day to do something because he was busy up there building a fence and what have you. So in a few days, Carr had most of this road put through before my grandfather could object, tell him to cease and desist or whatever. That always stuck in his craw, but he got over it. So we're going to travel this George Carr road. It's also the road that goes up to my cabin, and it goes into the south half of section 16, which was my grandpa's, and ended up, when my grandparents died, my Uncle Gene got it. My sons and I bought it from Gene's grandkids, the Deckers, in 2013, 2014, something like that. And we built a cabin up there. You can see our shooting range over there by that blue tarp in the distance. Way off yonder is Potato Hill. It's probably the second hill of note in this area. Tharp's Peak being the highest one locally to us here, behind me. But you can see why they call that Potato Hill. It kind of looks like a potato. So let's move on down this road. May, first week of May. Grass is already dried up here. The trees are brilliant green, at least the ones near the water are. Big valley oak there, willow trees down there, big valley oak there, big valley oaks over there. Those valley oaks throw off some huge acorns. Been a tough few years for them. I'm glad to see they making it. Well, a lot of these valley oaks have been here since the Indians were around. Older than this nation is. That's Horse Creek right there. Little green line you see. There's a cottonwood tree that's several hundred years old. No more. There's the ATV track that goes down to my cabin. This is the old Carr road we're still on here. There's a shooting range over there. There's my son's motorhome that he parked and went off and left here. We got to get that moved. It certainly doesn't look to be a part of this landscape. This road is also how I get my pickup truck into the cabin. The other ATV path is just for what we're riding. Rifle range for pistols, or gun ranges for pistols. 22 rifle, that's about it. Oh, whiff of a skunk here. I think we got a skunk living around here somewhere. I've smelled that before. Horse Creek. I can see my cabin over there. we started that in 2014, 2015, some time frame, 4 or 5 years ago. Anyhow, this is still the George Carr Road. I don't have any idea why he felt he needed this road, but he was friends with Nestor, George Nestor, and the Nestor place is on the other side in section 10. So instead of driving all the way around through Lemon Cove, maybe he wanted to come through here. There's the cabin and my truck over there, the outhouse, Horse Creek down below. That white pipe right there, that's how I get my water from the creek up into my green tank up there on the hill. And this road right here is a little S. That's how I get across Horse Creek and get over there to my cabin. We'll stay on the George Carr Road here. It gets a little rough from here on out. This road hasn't really been functional since the 40s, when the tungsten miners used to be in here, come in and out for, oh, I don't know, a few months before they called it quits and gave up. I don't know how Carr got this in here. Maybe he had a scraper, or I don't know. This is almost as far as we can go because the flood of 37 rerouted everything here. Alright, I'm going to leave the ATV here and we're going to go on by foot. Now we got to watch for snakes. Alright, you can see it. You can see where that old cottonwood limb goes across. That's the old road right there that used to go right along that bank. You can see where that bank drops vertical there onto that willow tree. There was much more road that was out there to the left before it was washed away in the flood of 37. I don't know what the path was of the creek in 37, but obviously it was somewhere out here. So I don't even think there's a cow trail going around that anymore. There used to be a trail several years ago, and it might be enough to carry a squirrel on now. But that's where she went across, right next to that bank right there. You can see that flowering buckeye tree there. It's got the white flowers on it the size of bananas. That would have been uphill from the road. There's Horse Creek. Got a wet spot here. Got a couple hog tracks in the mud here. Not too many though. So this creek runs, well, it used to run several months out of the year. It used to run all year round way back in the early days, but these days you're lucky if it runs 6 months out of the year. But it's still wet. You could dig down and find water here pretty close to the surface, because it stays green a lot. So here's the road. I don't know if he blasted that out of there or what. Probably had to. I mean, I don't think that rock grew naturally that way. So the road bed is up there. I'll get around this dead cottonwood here, and then I'll climb back up on the road bed. But you can see it up above us there. Another advantage is down here I can see snakes where I'm walking. Raccoon tracks, hog tracks. There's a road bed up there. That cottonwood tree would have been here when Carr was putting this road through. He stopped here and had his lunch in the shade of this tree. That's why I shoot squirrels right there. They dig these things all over everywhere. They preferably, they have a preference for digging under the foundations of stuff. Okay, you can see the road here now. Got a nice grade to it. The rock rolled down the hill from somewhere up there. And heads off in this direction here. So we're not too far from the south end of section 16 really. So it won't take too long to get there. Over here, after Horse Creek makes this big bend here that took out the road, all that is silt over there, that little flat. It heads back over to that side of the hill and goes on up the creek. It probably goes another mile past this fence line, and eventually it just gets smaller and smaller until it just fades away. You can kind of see where the waters run down here. Nobody's kept this up for years and years. Cut a big trough and eroded the right side of the road here. And comes around here, swings uphill and goes right through where my grandpa built this fence with the intention that nobody would ever use this road again. So George Carr used it. And the tungsten miners, they wanted to bring their trucks in this way. And I don't know why he let them do that, but he did. And once the tungsten miners left, he built this fence permanent across here. You can see the road goes on up that way. You can see how the fence was patched here. What used to be a gate, now a permanent fence. So I'll cross this fence and we'll continue on up there because we can see down into Horse Creek and the view's a lot better. So back to pause here. Okay, through the fence without ripping my shirt off. Continuing on up the old Carr Road. We followed this, we'd end up at the Wiley Hines Ranch, or the place where it sat. I don't think there's anything left of it anymore. I remember going up there when my cousins came up for a visit and I was staying here with my grandparents on the ranch, and Grandpa put us all in the truck and drove up past the McCrae cabin and out to the Wiley Hines Ranch, and that's the first and last time I've been there. Water comes off these hills at a pretty good clip, and it can wash out dirt and rocks fast. Takes out fences, trees, and as you can see here, roads are no obstacle either. So the road would have gone right across here. And continuing on. Oh, there's a coyote who had a good dinner last night. They got to leave their mark right here, their email for other coyotes to read. Another buckeye tree, young one. See the squirrels. I'm walking on a squirrel path here. They like this nice flat road too. I don't have to climb up and down hills on this nice flat road. This might be a long video now that I'm on foot. But hey, you made it this far. Hang in there. That sound was a quail. Okay, now we're above Horse Creek. Nice view down there. Now you're looking at my property. Me and my sons. We bought this. A lot of feed over there on that hill, huh? And no. Yeah, we leased to John Vincent. He's going to have to feed his cattle a lot of hay or supplement this year. Get them through the year. It's only May. Those hills should still look similar to what's down there along the creek in a normal year. Red-tailed hawk. Wash out on the road here. Not only squirrels use this old road, but I've seen coyotes and deer coming down this road all the time. I'm going to take you up here to what they call Paradise Falls, and that's where we'll end this. Another washout here. This was pretty hard here, didn't wash out, but soft underneath there for some reason. You'd think there was a culvert down there, but it's not. Imagine bringing your horse and buggy down this road and that old rock right there comes tumbling down off this hill towards you. Here's the fence line. That's the dividing line between section 16 here and let's see, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. 21 on the south side of us here. There's the fence line going up the hill over there. So this would be one of my rocks. If you're interested in it, you pay the shipping, I'll sell it to you. There's the fence line. Well, another big old washout here. Came down and took out a big chunk of this road. Okay, I'm going to pause while I get across this without killing myself. Okay, we made it. I was just looking at this fence line and going, yo, what was his name from the A-team that said, pity the fool who had to build this fence. My God. And I'm just the beneficiary. One lucky fellow. Okay, this is about as far as we're going to go here because this is Paradise Falls coming up. Coming through that cut over there is Wells Creek. Wells Creek joins with Jim Gray Creek up on Big Oak Flat. Comes through a ginormous boulder pile and then makes some cut around these hills. Comes whipping down that little canyon over there. Got some hellacious holes the size of bathtubs in that granite bedrock. You can walk out there, up above there, above those willows. And there's some big tubs. Then comes careening off the face of that granite rock there. It is bone dry. There's just not even a seep coming off of those rocks. Still wet down in the creek. Might be from springs coming into Horse Creek from somewhere, but it ain't coming off a Big Oak Flat. The willow trees are green, so there's seepage somewhere. But Horse Creek continues on up through this ravine here, pretty brushy. Heads towards Potato Hill yonder there. This road keeps on going parallel with Horse Creek till it gets to the old Wiley Hines place. So this is an excellent place to jump deer out here or to sit and wait for them at night in the fall. It's so shady down there and cool. And usually there's water. So that's it. You're at the end of the Whitney property. Up there's Hog Canyon. I'll take you up that road someday and show you that. Later.